Hey, Shalom. It's your Dan Allah. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. Double honors to our elders. Salutations to the brothers and sisters that magnify this truth on the four corners of the earth and have given a body as a living sacrifice. All right. So, I just want to go over a quick lesson on the Passover. Now, for time's sake, I'm gonna call a few precepts, all right, and brothers can do their homework on it, all right. Now, what about the Passover, all right, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread? Now, the Passover is a sacred ceremony, a solemn assembly. All right, so we got to remember that this isn't just some ordinary dinner, man. You know, where you just bring plates and everybody just eat. And no, there's a certain order to this feast day. All right. But first, let me go into the history of the Passover. All right, so we must understand that the Passover derives, right, from Egypt, okay? Yahweh sent the destroyer into Egypt, Shalom, to destroy that place, all right, and to hastily rescue the children of Israel, all right, out of oppression and hard bondage, man. All right, and you can read a little bit about that in the book of Numbers, chapter 33. All right, when you know he sent plagues in there, okay, and he also, you know, Yahweh Shai was with the death angels, man. All right, and like I said, I'm gonna briefly quote some of these precepts. I'm gonna go all the way into some of them just for time's sake. But also we must remember that we gotta get all the leaven out of our house for the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now the Feast of Unleavened Bread, all right, is a 7-day event. All right, so it would happen on the 15th day at evening. All right. Coming off from the Passover, Shalom King, all right, because the Passover will be the 14th day of the month, all right. So on the 14th day of the month, we got the Passover, all right, from sundown to sundown. Now, sundown on the 15th, okay, immediately will be the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you got to take all the leaven out of your household. All right, you got to remove all the leaven, all the yeast out of your household. All right, you can't have no yeast whatsoever in your household. All right, also you got to remove all the leaven out of your spirit, man. Right, pursuant to 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. All right, so 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, it goes into, all right, being puffed up with wickedness, malice, you know, pretty much going off and to repent, okay, and put away those sins, to fast, all right, and to pray over, you know, and ask for forgiveness, because you don't want to go into the Passover puffed up or with leaven in your spirit, all right? Yeah, yeast is bread, King. So we got to get that, you know, get the leaven out your house, all right, and get that leaven out your spirit, okay? Few things I also wanted to touch on, all right? You know, another thing, you know, Yahweh Shai kept the Passover. Yahweh Shai kept the Passover as a child, all right? There's an account of Yahweh Shai keeping the Passover. When he was 12 years old, he would go to Jerusalem and keep that feast day. And he also kept the Passover as an adult. All right, all kinds of bread that has yeast in it, King. Right, so I'm going to get back to that, though. So Yahweh Shai kept the Passover as an adult, Okay. And also we see that he kept the Passover as his, the Last Supper with his disciples, and we also going to keep the Passover, all right, in the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Now, just to go over a quick, history of it. This is this is a tradition that's been kept generation past to generation. All the sons in the generation, of past generations kept it Passover. You can see that in the Apocrypha. All right. I'm gonna get into that too, King. All right. So yeah, that was just a little brief history of the Passover. So I'm gonna recap real quick for the brothers that just came in. So the Passover, right, is about when Yahushua sent the death angels in, and all the brothers and sisters, they would have to put the lamb's blood at their doorpost, so the destroyer would know not to destroy that home, all right, because that home will contain the Israelites in it, right? And like I said, this is a feast day that's is set apart from all feast days. It's not a day that you just bring, all kind of dishes and everybody get together. You don't know. This is a solemn assembly, man. Right? So you gotta have your lamb, you gotta have your bitter herbs, you gotta have, the unleavened bread and the red wine, because it all symbolizes something. Now that wine represents the blood of Yahushua. All right, that unleavened bread, it represents, taking out, the leaven, man. Withdrawing yourself from sin. Okay, the lamb represents the body of Yahushua. All right, so even if you vegan, you still got to eat the bread. All right, and of course the red wine represents the blood of Yahushua. All right, I'm gonna go into the book of Exodus chapter 12, just to touch on that a little bit more. All right, so let me get that. So this is the book of Exodus chapter 12. Right. All right, so I'm gonna start at verse 3. It reads, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of the month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house." So, like I said, even if you vegan, all right, on the day of the Passover, you gotta eat the lamb, man, right? So, verse 4, it says, and I'm gonna answer all the questions that I see that's on the comment board. Just give me a second. Verse 4, it says, "And if the household to be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto him his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make his count for the lamb." So no matter what. Now, if you can't afford the lamb, the Lord is asking to gather together, man, as one body, right? And, brothers put together what they got and get that lamb and eat together, man. All right? So if you're in an area with a brother and sister, and that brother and sister is not fortunate, to afford the lamb, you should go help provide it for them, or you should invite the brother over, so you guys can keep it together. Verse 5, it says, "Your lamb shall be without blemish." So your lamb got to be without blemish. All right. A male of the first year, ye shall take it out from the sheep or from your goat. So now if you can afford a lamb, all right, a whole lamb, make sure that it's a male lamb. All right. And it has no blemish. All right. On it. Now, if you a brother or sister that can't afford the lamb, Okay, go get you some lamb chops. Make sure the lamb chops don't got no blemish on it. Okay, you know, keep it to the best of your ability. If you can't afford the lamb, you can't afford the lamb, but do the best you could. Go get you some lamb chops, man. Right? I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. It says, "And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire." So that's the way we cook it. You gotta roast it with fire. All right? It says, "And unleavened bread with the bitter herbs, they shall eat it." So we got to get the unleavened bread. We got to eat it with the bitter herbs. Now the bitter herbs represents that affliction that Yahweh Shai went through. All right, and that affliction of us coming out of Egypt, man. That's why it's good to go get, you know, herbs like horseradish root, because it's gonna make you sweat, man. All right, it's gonna be kind of hard to swallow, but you got to get that down there, man. All right, verse 9, "Eat not of it raw." So you can't eat the meat raw. All right, I know brothers and sisters don't eat meat raw anyway, right? Like Esau, but you know, make sure you don't eat that thing raw. It says, "Nor sodden at all with water." So we can't boil it either. You can't boil your lamb. There's a certain way the Lord wants you to eat it. All right. It says, "But roast with fire." So you got to roast that lamb. It says, "His head with his legs and with the peritance thereof." So we got to make sure it's purified. All right. And it's roasted whole in the fire. Now, like I said, if you can't afford a whole lamb, go get you some lamb chops. All right, and you know, barbecue them, man. Right, roast them. So verse 10 says, "Ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning." So we can't, you know, you can't let none of this remain until the morning. Okay, make sure you got enough lamb to where you're not stuck with leftovers. Now, if you got a large amount of brothers and sisters, you know, y'all got to make sure that lamb is gone before y'all get out of there. All right, now, if y'all don't eat all the lamb, let's see what the scriptures say. All right, it says, and ye shall leave nothing of it remaining until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire." So you got to burn it with fire. If you don't eat all the lamb, make sure that you burn it with fire. All right. Verse 11, it says, "And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover." So we gotta eat it like we ready to be on the go, man. With your boots on, with your garment, all right, with your loins girded, all right, with the staff in your hand. You got to eat it at haste, man. Right? This is not a dinner where you just at a restaurant, you kind of taking your time, right, trying to look cute. No, you got to get in there, man. You got to eat that thing with haste, right? No wasting time, all right? Because we practicing the righteous acts. Now, back then, they was getting, they had to get up out of there, man. All right? So let's jump down to verse 15. It says, right, now we're going to go into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It says, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. So let me see. I think the brother had a question. Somebody had asked that earlier. Okay. Maybe not. All right. So we gotta remove all the unleavened out of our house. All right. So I would do that before Passover. Make sure you get all of that out of there, right? And you can replace it with unleavened bread. Okay. And they got good unleavened bread at places like Wegmans. All right, they got good kosher unleavened bread, man. Right? Or you can make your own. I know brothers and sisters that have done it in the past. So I'm gonna read it again, verse 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul should be cut off from Israel. So you get cut off, man. All right, if you're not keeping it correctly, you get cut off. Period, man. All right, so verse 18, it says in the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, ye shall eat unleavened bread. All right, until the 21st day of the month at evening. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. Whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. So we got to get rid of that leaven. The Lord is not playing about you removing that leaven for the Feast of Unleavened. Now remember, 1 Corinthians 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab it real quick just because. I just want to hit a point real quick. Not only that leaven in the bread, we got to get that leaven in our spirit. All right, so 1 Corinthians 5:4. In the name of Yahweh Shai, when we are gathered together in my spirit, with the power of our Lord Yahweh Shai to deliver us such in one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord. Your glorying in not good. Know ye not that the little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? So if you're a brother or sister that got leaven on you, you can leaveneth the whole lump. You can have the whole Passover messed up, man. All right, so you got to purge that leaven out. How you purge it out? Fasting, praying, all right? Staying in the spirit, asking for forgiveness, repenting, all right? Doing charity work, because charity work also reduces your sins, all right? Going out teaching, doing sit-downs. Another way, you can pay alms to brothers and sisters too. That's another way to reduce sins. There's different ways that you can get that leaven off of you. All right, so you brothers and sisters can start practicing that now. So, you know, when Passover come, you'll be ready, man. All right. Verse 7, purge out, therefore, the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump. So we should be a new lump on the day of the Passover, right? It says, as ye are unleavened, for even Yahweh Shai, our Passover, is sacrificed to us. So we got to sacrifice the same way Yahweh Shai sacrificed for us. All right. Yahweh Shai got up there and was afflicted, bruised. All right. And was put to death, right, for the nation of Israel, man. And we got to be ready to take that same sacrifice. And all the Lord is asking us for us to put away our sins, man, and our filthiness that we've collected throughout the year, man. Because not one of us, all right, not all of us go off, all right? All of us, let's just put that out there. Ain't nobody in this truth perfect. All of us have went off this year. I guarantee it. Not one person this year was just pure, man, the whole time. So we got to make sure we putting that wickedness off and praying and purging that out, man. Getting that out of our spiritual temple before the Passover, all right? In sincerity, man. Not wavering. All right. So verse 8, it says, therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven. You see that? So keep the feast not with old leaven, man, but as a new lump, man. Neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. So we got to come in a spirit of sincerity and truth. Don't come to the Passover with an attitude. Don't come to the Passover with that spirit of, I hate my brother. All right. All grudgy, man. All right. Envious. Don't be coming to the Passover trying to cause the court, ready to debate. All right. Showing discerning, showing discern amongst brother, causing discord, salakia, amongst brother, man. Right? Come in the right attitude. All right? So, verse 9, it says, I wrote unto you in an epistle not to accompany with fornicators. All right? So we can't, if brothers and sisters then went off, make sure that spirit is good, man. Make sure you in the right spirit. Don't come to the Passover and you've been a fornicator. All right? Make sure that you've been repenting and fasting, all right? And keeping the commandments, man, in the faith of Hamashiach. All right? So back to Exodus 12, right? That's just on the spiritual side. Now back to Exodus 12. Where were we? All right, so back to Exodus 12 and 19, like we were just reading about 7 days, you got to get that leaven out your house. Now, if you're a brother or a sister, all right, that, you can't afford to get throw away all your groceries and stuff like that. I know brothers and sisters that in the past, they would take their groceries somewhere else for those 7 days, and then, they'll bring it back after that 7 days. So, just use wisdom, all right? We got to use wisdom, man. All right, so let's jump down to verse 23. It's 23. It says, for the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lantern, right, and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. So if you can keep that, right, if you can get the lamb blood on your door, like if you live, kind of secluded from others, or like, it's if you capable of putting the blood on the doorpost, to go right ahead and do it, but if you live, in like close in a neighborhood where people may call the police on you, or you got nosy neighbors, and you may be in the projects, or you may be in a busy, like I said, a busy neighborhood, then just use wisdom. I wouldn't do it, because you got to be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. All right, so you got to use wisdom, Israel. So let's jump down to verse 43. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. So we can't have no heathens at the Passover, right? You can't invite your white friends, right? You can't have your Chinese buddy from college come through. Nah, you can't have no heathens. You can't have damn Moab cooking the lamb, man. All right? We got to keep it inside the house of Israel. All right? This is verse 46. In one house it shall be eaten. So you got to eat it at wherever you inside that house. At one house, right? Thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abhorred out of the house. So you can't be outside. This ain't no picnic, man. You can't be out there out in the damn backyard, having Passover. You got to be inside the building. All right? It says, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. So you can't be getting you some lamb. Don't go and get lamb chops and be breaking the bones up, getting ready to feed the dogs, man. No, man, don't break a bone, man. All right? This is verse 47. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. Everybody's required to keep this feast day. And like I said before, this is a solemn assembly. This is not like any other feast day where brothers can bring any dish they want, all right, and we just about to party and celebrate. No, man. We supposed to be in a spirit of remembering our affliction, man. All right? Remembering, our Lord Yahweh Shai being delivered. All right. You know, keeping in, like I said, going into the scriptures, man. Right? Keeping it spiritual. All right. So, verse 48. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee. Now, this is going into, you know, because if you wasn't from Jerusalem back then, but you were an Israelite, you was considered a stranger also, just like a foreigner, Gentile. All right, so when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, all right, and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all the males be circumcised. So a brother had asked earlier in the video, can a circumcised person keep this Passover? Now the scriptures say that you got to be circumcised. All right. So I will get circumcised, brother, if I'm gonna keep the Passover. That's what the law say. All right, to be circumcised. It says, and then let him come near and keep it. So it says all males to be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. So the scriptures say no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. All right. And also, right, no buying or selling on the Passover. All right, for and also no buying and selling on the last day of the feast of unleavened bread. All right. Yes, you can cook during the feast of unleavened bread, but you gotta remove the unleavened out of your house. All right. What else did I want to touch on? All right. No fasting on the Passover. You can read that in the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 6. I wouldn't have sex on the Passover either, man. I wouldn't go and lay down with my woman and then go to the Passover and be unclean, man. All right. So that's going off. All right. And remember, you gotta have the red wine, the bitter herbs, all right, the unleavened bread and the lamb. That's very important. That's your meal for the Passover. Like I said, this ain't just any other meal. We eating the Passover in haste, man. We got our boots on, we got the garments on, all right. We got the staff. Our loins is girded up, and we eating in haste, all right. This ain't no let's get cute, let's get dressed, all right, and go out and eat, man. This is the Lord's Passover. All right, so with that, I hope it was edifying through the Spirit. All right, empower Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.